Is the stream back up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this will be the one recorded. All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Uh, Today I'm going to be going over how I go about creature design. So, one of the ways I go about that is just combining a bunch of creatures together. I think it's the best and easiest way to start creature design. So I have a randomizer from the Word Finder pulled up. It randomizes birds, mammals, bugs, dinosaurs, even. So I'm just going to go ahead and click it a couple times. We'll see what we end up getting. And then I'm just going to do a quick exercise and do some warm up sketches. So let's just click it like 5 times, see if we get something we like. Okay, this is a fun set. All right, we got a possum, a megalosaurus, and a firefly. This is a very interesting set. So, anyways, once again, welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope you're having a good time. I'm going to go ahead and start with some warm up sketches. Hope everybody can see me just fine. All right. I'm using Magma to draw. I find it to be one of the easier things for me to draw with. I like the program overall, and it is a very nice free source. Just trying to make sure everything is set up. All right. Let's see. Obviously the most notable thing about a firefly is the big shiny booty. Really, when you go about this, it's always important to think of the most iconic aspects of each creature. What you really want to show for them and how you're going to put that into the drawing. So I definitely want to use the firefly for their fireflyness. The megaloceros, I will probably base the structure around. I normally choose just one creature to do the basic structure with, because if not, it tends to get a little bit complicated, because then you're trying to work with different anatomy. And the creature is already built with their bones and how they're going to move. So when you start to mess with that, it kind of starts to make everything unrealistic. Like if I were to try to put bug proportions onto a dinosaur, it's not really going to work out in our favor. So we're going to go with something to do with the light on the firefly, the build of the dinosaur, and for the possum, I think the most notable aspect is the fur and the patterns of it, and the fact that it is a marsupial. Possums have a lot of personality. So I think we're going to more channel not so much the exact structure and look of the possum, but more so the tinier aspects, like maybe the patterns, the energy. They can be silly creatures. So if we try to combine that and then into a dinosaur build and with the light of a firefly, we're going to get something that looks overall pretty interesting, but I think it can make for a fun drawing, so we'll see what happens. The important thing to know is just nothing's ever going to turn out how you expect it. I'm going to go ahead and use my little fill tool to just quickly block out some basic ideas. What doesn't want to work? Give me one moment. Oh, there we go. I think this is a lot easier to block out shapes because you don't have to worry so much about how it looks in the beginning. You're more so just worried about trying to get everything down. I dinosaurs, I do like going with the structure and the teeth, but I think that going with the build of the four legs and a bit of a stubbier look will kind of help balance out the large tail that we're going to try to have. So we're going to go ahead and give him four legs instead of trying to go with the two large ones. Try to balance out a little bit of the front here. Could give it a little nosy. I'm not a huge fan of the way this looks, so we'll try something else. You could always switch things around. Obviously, drawing is a process. Nothing is ever going to turn out how you expect it to. Things can change and move in a matter of minutes, and you'll never really know what the end product is, especially when it comes to designing something that isn't real, that is fantasy, or not working with, you know, hard rules or logic. You are working purely based off of what you want to see. This I'm kind of just going with more of the possum. Give him the dinosaur feet, maybe some teeth. I do like the wings from the firefly. I still like the bulky tail. Maybe I could make him stand up on the two legs. Just gonna keep playing with it. I like the ears. I like the narrow mouth, but I do like the spikiness of a dinosaur. We'll go with that. He could probably still be pretty stubby, and we'll have him stand up on the two. Kind of looks like a penguin, maybe a bean. Yeah, I like that. Obviously, my style is very cartoony, very simple. So, you know, as we move forward, we're just going to keep working with that. We're going to use it to our advantage. Drawing sillier creatures is more fun, in my opinion, because there's a lot less limiting you. Because you're not so much worried about, you know, what's real, what you're trying to make look accurate, or just, it's mostly a matter of having fun, figuring out what works and what doesn't. I love creature design. I love working with it. I think it's always a good time. You just kind of gotta keep going and throwing ideas out there. You do gotta realize no idea is a bad idea too. Things might look silly, things might look wrong. You just gotta keep moving with it. Alright, I have the basic idea of what I want for the sketch. I think he looks pretty cute. I like it. Okay. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and start working on the actual drawing now. I'm gonna just turn down the opacity of that layer a little bit, or maybe not. Here we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and work on blocking it in. I'm going to go for a slightly off pink red. Possums are gray. I don't think the gray is a bad idea for this. It'll give some really good contrast with the glowy tail anyways. So it could be a fun idea to work with. I'm going to go ahead and just work off of the sketch that I made to block in the character. I already put all that work in, why not let it go to waste? We'll give the wings some more love and detail later. Right now they're fine just the way they are. I will probably try to make them a little bit transparent, make them look more like actual bug wings. Alright, let's get that sketch out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Let's make sure everybody can still see that. All right, sweet. Hope everybody is doing good today. I've been having a pretty good day so far myself. Woke up pretty early, got a nice start to it. I'm going to go ahead and just section off some of the areas. Try to fill it in with our fill tool, make things a little bit easier on ourselves. We're just going to go for a very quick warm-up drawing. After all, creature design, this mixing up of different animals is about the most warm-up you can get. I think it's the easiest. Starting off, I would just go for mammals or just birds. I prefer trying to combine a bunch of different kinds of creatures, dinosaurs, bugs, fish, but once you try to combine, you know, things from different families and genuses and all of this, it starts to get more complicated because they're not made to go together for a reason. So just be aware of that, but if you want to challenge yourself, of course, go for it. I've started off mostly just doing mammals myself, and I would just kind of pick my favorite. Be aware that whenever you are looking for randomizers, a lot of them don't organize properly. The best way I can... Basically, this was... The one I'm using is one of the only ones that has dinosaurs, and you're able to select all of the different creatures at once. Most of the time, they will only do mammals or birds, and very few have dinosaurs. And I think dinosaurs are a lot of fun to mess with because it adds a lot more fantasy into it. Because after all, they've been gone for so long, and you could really just make them look however you want because there's no set rule, which or like rhyme or reason to go by, because nobody truly knows what they look like. And I think that that's fun. I think it provides a lot more creativity than a normal drawing would. You don't get that very often with other things. Okay. Possums. Possums are so cute. We give them a little bit too much hate, I think. Well, that's not quite what I needed. Once again, mistakes happen. Don't be too mad at yourself if things aren't turning out how you expect, what you really want it to look like. It's perfectly okay. A lot of my old drawings are just kind of ugly. And you know what? That's okay. I might not like to look at them very often, but whenever I do, I could always go back and appreciate the progress I've made and what I've changed and how I've grown over the years. I'm still not the best when it comes to digital art. I recognize that. But I do enjoy it. I enjoy the freedom. I enjoy not having to mix colors myself because it can get very frustrating. I like to go for cartoony, so we're just going to give them a little eye. Here, let's go ahead and do some line art, make things a little bit clearer for myself. I personally like whenever lines overlap a little bit with the colors and vice versa. I think it adds character to the drawing. But obviously, to each their own, you might think it looks a little bit messy. So obviously, use whatever style you want to. Drawing is meant to be fun. At the end of the day, don't beat yourself up over it. Our biggest critics are always ourselves. I promise I've drawn on magma before. Ignore that little milestone if you guys saw it pop up. I personally love dinosaurs. I think that if they were still alive today, I would have a pet. They might be a little vicious, though. Do you think that if dinosaurs were still alive, we would, like, have farms? We could have, like, little chicken dinosaurs, like the really tiny ones. Little compies, and we would collect their eggs and, like, make little omelets out of them. I think that would be fun. Once again, things don't need to be entirely accurate. There are a couple different processes. If you're more of a story-oriented person, you could go about trying to think of the creature and the way that they live first. I normally like to think about it as I'm going, or whenever I'm starting to finish up and I know what I want them to look like. Like, for instance, this little creature could hunt other bugs, and they use their big old light to protect or to attract the other bugs. Then they're able to fly over to them and grab them with their big old sharp teeth. They're a very tiny little vicious predator. I imagine them to be even tinier than an actual possum. Like the size of a cat, maybe. I personally think they're adorable. Alright, let's go ahead and try and clean up this just a little bit on the outsides. Alright, everybody. There's our first little warm-up done. Our little light-up opossum. What's a good name for them? Here, let me try and check the chat really quick. Give me just one moment, everybody. Let's go through and add a couple details while I'm waiting for things to load. It would be great if things would work for me, but alas. Okay. Well, I'll check the comments whenever I upload the full VOD, and I'll choose a name from then, and I'll post it, the finished product, for everybody to see. Alright, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this little warm-up sketch. I hope you were able to gain a little bit of inspiration from it. I hope that you all had a good time, and I'm very glad everybody came to the stream. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And I will catch everybody next time. Thank you so very much.